Hi friends, welcome to Interactive Medicine. We are discussing acidosis and alkalosis. pH arterial blood 7.372 to 7.43. PCO2 in arterial blood 35 to 45 mmHg. Standard bicarbonate 20 to 26 millimole per liter. I am drawing here the balance between acidosis and alkalosis. If there are any pathological factors occur, acidosis is the shift of the acid base balance towards the acid side. Alkalosis is the shift of the acid base balance to the alkaline side. So, if pH less than 7.35 or PCO2 greater than 45 or SB less than 22, this leads to acidosis. We have respiratory acidosis and respiratory alkalosis. Also, we have non-respiratory acidosis and non-respiratory alkalosis. First, we are going to study respiratory acidosis and alkalosis. Before we go into this section, first we have to look into participation of the respiratory system in the regulation of acid-base balance. Ventilation, the term means exchange of gas between alveoli and blood vessel. I am drawing alveoli and blood vessel in oxygen transfer and carbon dioxide into the alveoli. Ventilation is activated by respiratory center in the brain. Activation of respiratory center in the brain is regulated by or controlled by the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood. Respiratory center activated by PCO2. So less PCO2 means hypocapnia. It inhibits respiratory center. It leads to hypoventilation. It leads for compensatory purposes. Body need to increase the PCO2. So in case of hypoventilation, increased PCO2 will occur, which means acidosis condition. Increased PCO2, hypercapnia, activate respiratory center and it leads to hyperventilation. So body decreases PCO2 for compensation, alkalosis will occur. So in case of hyperventilation, decreased PCO2 in the body happen, which means alkalosis, respiratory alkalosis. Oxygen has no role in controlling of respiratory center. So increased PCO2 in acidic condition, that means respiratory acidosis. How they occur? How PCO2 increases? We have two pathways, endogenous and exogenous. In endogenous, if respiratory center is not working, it leads to hypoventilation, which means increased PCO2. This condition is known as respiratory insufficiency or respiratory failure. Exogenous pathway, high carbon dioxide content in the inhaled air. It also leads to increased PCO2. So decreased PCO2 or respiratory alkalosis, how they occur? How hypocapnia will occur or decreased PCO2 will happen? It occurs through, we have two pathways. The excitation of respiratory center. It leads to hyperventilation and decreased PCO2. Excitation of respiratory center is due to direct or indirect pathway. Indirect, encephalitis and tumor. Indirect, altitude sickness and fever. A few words about altitude sickness. In high altitude areas, levels of oxygen very low, so person takes breaths very quickly. It leads to hyperventilation. It leads to decrease in PCO2. And the next pathway, inadequate artificial lung ventilation, which means the failure of artificial lung ventilation. If you take the ventilator from the mouth of the patient or ventilator is not working properly, it leads to hyperventilation, that is decreasing PCO2. Okay, the second one is non-respiratory acidosis and non-respiratory alkalosis. So first we are going to discuss about non-respiratory acidosis. It can occur through if body produce acids. The term is known as metabolic acidosis. Second one, if acids gets into body from outside. Outside means exogenous. That is the second one. Loss of bicarbonate ion. That is excretory acidosis. So metabolic acidosis we can divide four. Diabetes mellitus and fasting, it produces ketone bodies. For example, acetoacetic acid. Hypoxia leads to anaerobic glycolysis. It leads to increase in the production of lactic acid. In renal failure, uric acid and other acids increases. In gout, uric acid will increase. Exogenous. Prolonged consumption of acids food, drugs like ammonium chloride and poisoning. And in excretory, it's less than 22 millimole. The bicarbonate is lost. It leads to non-respiratory acidosis. So second one is non-respiratory alkalosis. We can divide it into three. If HCl in the stomach loss, that is the loss of chloride ion or anions, loss of cations, or for example potassium loss, or third one increase sodium carbonate level from outside. In case of vomiting, which that is persistent vomiting, anions will lose and form hypochloremic alkalosis. In case of aldosterone, hyperaldosteronism, what is the function of aldosterone? It is reuptake the water and Na plus from the renal tubule, and it also excrete the potassium. So it increase indirectly bicarbonate ion greater than 26 millimole per liter. It leads to respiratory alkalosis. Okay friends, thank you. Have a nice day. I think this video is helpful for you.